stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. Our next stop is the Magic Kingdom. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the doors. Stay clear of the doors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching our station at the entrance to Main Street, USA.
Welcome aboard the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is Justin Monorail, and this is episode 229 of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. Today is Monday, November the 25th, 2024, and that means it's Thanksgiving week. So I'm looking forward to all of you listening to this episode sometime in the next month or so, because no one listens on holiday weeks. That means there's no rules. We can go crazy. But before we go crazy, I got to welcome in my co-host because it's more fun to go crazy with friends. Let's start just going around the room here, and we're going to bring in from the virtual North Carolina studios, it's Stephers. Stephers, welcome to the Monorail. How you doing?
Hello.
Hi.
I'm tired.
No,
Listen,
Stephers.
So you said, hold on. I'm tired. I partied too hard last night. We're recording this the day after my Friendsgiving, and respectfully, number one, that since it's a holiday week, do not drink and drive. Someone will order you an Uber, period, point blank. Number two, if you're doing the road trip to go see your fam or your friends or your family, whatever, turn on the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. What do you mean no one listens on holiday week? People have to travel mostly. Or if you're cooking in your kitchen, why not have a touch of Disney magic? Why are you belittling us?
I mean,
Don't do that.
It's great to say that now, but people would actually have to turn on the show to hear that advice. And they're not going to do it because people don't listen during the holidays, Stepher. I don't know what to tell you.
Whatever. I don't know what to tell myself, but there was so much food, so good. Oh, what a time.
Yeah.
What a time.
Well, I'm glad you're in your post-Friendsgiving afterglow, Steffers, and we're going to pick up the energy. There are no rules. We can go crazy, but you know what? In order to really get the party started, we got to bring in the party starter, and that is, of course, Landon the Doane. Landon, welcome to the Monorail.
Go crazy. Don't mind if I do. Hi, everybody, coming in from the isolation station of love. It's me. It's the DOZ, Landon the Doane, and it's a Monday morning. You know what that means. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. By the way, if you are listening while you're cooking your Thanksgiving meal, maybe check on the turkey. It's due for a basting. The green beans smell delicious. Maybe check them as well. Also, the pumpkin pie. Well, pumpkin pie's trash. Just go ahead and put that in the garbage.
So let me tell you
I'm
something.
sorry.
I disagree with that statement.
Yeah, don't.
That's fine. Y'all are entitled to your opinion, no matter how wrong it is.
Pumpkin pie.
Now you're
Get
gonna
a better
say-
pie, like an apple, a pecan, maybe get
Good
some
night.
cookie situation.
This is my resignation from the podcast. I cannot work under
That's
these
fine.
conditions.
That's fine. Pumpkin pie is garbage.
It's absolutely not. It's delicious, and it's the best pie to just absolutely empty a can of whipped cream on top of a slice.
Correct. Exactly. Justin understands.
Oh yeah.
Anytime you have to empty a can of something else to hide the taste of it, that is red flag number one, ladies and gentlemen.
No. Are you saying you don't put vanilla ice cream on your apple pie? Get out of here, Landon, right now.
I mean,
I eat it with. I don't cover it with.
Honey. Same concept. Don't. It's the same concept. We can enjoy the toppings of a lie. That's the Southern. That was the Southern that just came
Southern
through.
Stephers.
The concepts of the lie. Wow. All right. Okay. It's going to be a contentious episode of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. I love it.
Well,
Happy Thanksgiving. It's about to throw down.
Wait. I don't put anything on pecan pie though. What do you put on pecan pie?
You can do vanilla ice cream with pecan pie. Vanilla ice cream with pecan pie is very good.
You can.
Yeah.
But honestly, pecan pie is so great by itself. Just eat it, because pecan pie is the superior pie.
Okay.
We all know that.
I think pecan pie overall, pound for pound, is better than pumpkin pie. However, on Thanksgiving, I want a pumpkin pie. A homemade, not a Publix, not a store-bought pumpkin pie. I want a homemade pumpkin pie. It doesn't, I mean, I'm not making it. I'll have to find somebody to make it. But, and then I want to put that
He said homemade, but I'm not making.
But it is good.
Anyway.
I want somebody else to put in the groundwork for me to eat a homemade
Yes.
pumpkin pie. Yeah.
So Monorail fam, you're on the clock. I'm going to need a homemade pumpkin pie by Thursday. Before we really dive into the news here, and we've got a lot of amazing Walt Disney World news to talk about, I have one question for both of you. What is the best Thanksgiving side dish, Landon?
Macaroni and cheese / mashed potatoes.
Okay. All right. Carb heavy, but I agree with you. Steffers?
Stuffing.
/ deviled eggs. Yeah.
I was going to say / cranberry sauce, but I'm in the minority and I can fully recognize that.
Well, okay. And do you like a fresh cranberry sauce, or do you like the cranberry jelly that comes from the can?
So yesterday we ate the one from the can perfectly fine. It got the job done. I mixed it in with like the turkey and the stuffing when I eat it anyway, but I love a homemade cranberry sauce.
Interesting. See, there are two camps on cranberry sauce, and some people are like, the can is the only way to go. And then other people are like, I want the homemade stuff. So that's interesting.
I ain't picky. You put
No,
it in front of me.
there's actually 3 camps. The correct camp is where the pumpkin pie goes, in the trash.
Ah, yes. That is technically the third camp, but I disagree. But that's okay. I know a lot of people don't like cranberry sauce, so I'm okay with that.
Now, I just want to say
It takes up real estate on your plate. Jay, what is your answer?
it's going to be I like a good dressing. I like a good
Okay. All
yeah,
right.
casserole.
Stuffing?
No. Stephers. Well, by the way, I'm not going to get we're not getting into this because in the new era of the Monday Morning Monorail podcast, there are no rules. If you want to call it stuffing, great. I call
But
it.
we're talking about the same thing.
No, we're
That's
not.
what I'm saying.
We're not.
Oh, my. Okay.
We're not, unless you're
Are
talking,
we? Yeah.
because it depends on how yours was prepared. Was it in the bird? Cooked in the bird, then it was stuffing. If it was cooked in a casserole dish, it's dressing. And you said you're Southern Steffers, you should know the difference.
I'm from Miami, though, at the
Oh, you
bone
can't
of
roll it
the-
back now.
I can 100% roll it back. My Southern is like an alternative
There are no
personality.
rules.
There are no rules.
Okay, fine. Call it what
so
you
we're
want. I don't
technically
care.
talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
So technically, I'm talking about dressing. I don't think I've ever eaten stuffing, technically.
And it's better that you don't, because there's a risk of E. coli if you actually eat real stuffing. So,
Oh, dear.
yeah, because you're cooking it in the raw turkey.
That,
juice.
as a matter of fact, is the worst Thanksgiving side dish.
E. coli. That's true.
Correct.
But listen, I'm reaching out because those who have listened to the Monday Morning Monorail podcast for years, they know this is a camp I'm willing to, or a hill I'm willing to die on. Not anymore. It's not worth it. If you want to call it stuffing, great. I don't care. I really don't care anymore.
Jay has finally given up the ghost.
Yeah, I'm too old for this.
This is what a broken Papa Monorail sounds like, ladies. Okay, all right. I threw this out in the Monorail Discord. If you want to be a part of the Monorail Discord, hit us up. There's always an open invitation, especially in this week of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving nachos. What about that?
I know you said
It's
that.
never a bad time for nachos.
I know that you said that, and I think Lewis's response to it was the same as mine. I was thinking, did you mean like taking the pieces of a Thanksgiving meal and creating like a nacho platter? But you just mean regular nachos on Thanksgiving, right?
It could be both. Why not? Regular ass nachos or Thanksgiving ass nachos.
Because
Again, it's never a bad time for nachos.
I could see like turkey and gravy, and you could put like stuffing or dressing, whatever you want, mashed potato, like all that stuff, and then scooping it up with like a nice toasted pita bread or something. That to me sounds pretty good.
Or a tortilla chip. Yep.
Well,
Yep.
see, I'm trying to make it Thanksgiving.
Or, the tortilla chip. Yes, I know it's pronounced tortilla chip. I'm being hilarious, ladies and gentlemen. Just with some ground beef, some cheese, your jalapenos, your regular nacho stuff.
Right, so that's nachos.
Nachos. Yeah, right? Jay, you say that like it's a bad thing.
Well, I just want
Nachos.
everybody to remember, if you come to my house and you try to eat my melted cheese, that's nacho cheese. It's my cheese. Okay? So stay out of it.
I hate you.
Hey, that was a cheesy joke, and I feel like it is a good opportunity to segue into the news. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with the headlines from Walt Disney World, and we're starting off with a place where if you love cheesy jokes and campy stuff and puns, you're going to love Trader Sam's. Just in time for the holiday season, we've got a brand new tiki mug. It's actually a new version of an old tiki mug that is being offered for the holidays. Trader Sam's Holiday Rum Barrel mug is back. This version is green. I guess last year they had a red one, and it looks like a whiskey barrel, but it's all painted green. It says Trader Sam's on it, and it comes with a fun light-up swizzle stick that has a little Jingle Bell Mickey attached to it. Fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, on Friday, I went to Trader Sam's, met up with Cocktail Bob, and now I am a proud owner of this Trader Sam's tiki mug. It's got a place of honor with the rest of my tiki mugs in the kitchen. I should have brought it for show and tell, but I do have this now, and it's amazing. Starting November 20th, so it's out. It's been out for 4 days. And when you buy this barrel, you get a option to go with the alcoholic drink that goes with it or non-alcoholic spirit, either one. If you go alcoholic, it is Gosling's Black Seal rum, coconut cream, guava syrup, and pineapple and lime juice. And let me tell you, it was really delicious. Very, very tasty drink as well. So head over to Trader Sam's. Landon, I know sometimes you like to collect tiki mugs. Is this one that caught your eye? You're like, I'd like to get my hands on one of those.
Yeah, most definitely. If I had the opportunity to get this barrel mug, for the lack of a better term, I would gladly pay my Disney dollary dues, because I do think it is a very good-looking mug, a very festive mug. This would become part of my Christmas decorations, in addition to, like you mentioned, I do like to collect the tiki mugs that they put out at Trader Sam's. I think this is a very good-looking addition, that what they do down at Trader Sam's. How does it feel? Because from the pictures, I'm kind of torn. Even though it does look good, part of me feels like, at least from the pictures we're looking at, we're using a blogmickey.com article. It looks a little light.
Light?
How does it feel in your hand?
Yeah, I mean, it's got a good heft to it. Like, you know,
okay,
yeah,
right.
your typical tiki mug construction, I think. And it, you know, I would say, of course, they don't serve you the drink in the mug when you buy it. They just give you the mug, and then they give you your drinks on the side. But this is one that I feel like if you did want to use it at home and drink out of it, you could because it'd be easy to clean. Some of the other tiki mugs, like the way the openings are and things, can be hard to clean. This one, it's almost like a coffee mug structure, but it's a little bit bigger. But it's nice. It's a good one. So if it's something you might be interested in, they are while supplies last. You actually have to go pick up a wristband. You walk up to Trader Sam's. They give you a wristband, and then you can either walk up to the outside to order the drink and the mug on the Pineapple and I, or no, it's the Tiki, is it Trader Sam's Terrace? Whatever it's called out there. Just around back where you can order the Trader Sam's mugs and drinks, or you can put your name on the list, go inside and get the drink that way. So either way, and they're $75. That's the drink and the mug included. So it's expensive.
What was the crowd like on the day that it dropped? Because I found myself at Trader Sam's on days when limited edition mugs drop, and sometimes it's like, yeah, come back in 5 hours.
Yeah.
Or yeah, your name is on the list, and it gets called 5 hours later.
Yeah, I didn't go on the official release day. So I can't necessarily speak. I think Cocktail Bob did go over there on release day, and the line is usually pretty long when they drop a new mug and you get the wristband and all that. But I will say, like, going on Friday, like, I was able to walk up and get a wristband. I got there around 4:30, got the wristband, and Bob had put our name on the list before I got there, and they called us within like 30 minutes, and I couldn't get there fast enough. So,
wow.
Yeah, so actually we had to put our name back on the list after I got there, and then it took like 2.5 hours after that to get called. So, I mean, Trader Sam's popular now. It's hard to get into, and unless you are there, like even before it opens to get your name on the list, it's going to take some time to get called.
Mm-hmm.
So, but
well, the fact that it dropped this mug in particular on the 20th, which was Wednesday, and then you yourself was able to go there on Friday, and it was still available. That at least speaks to me that Disney knows the demand of stuff like this, so they've in theory made more than this stuff, because again, I've been there on days when a limited edition mug drops and the damn thing sells out that day.
Yeah.
So if you and your family are down for the Thanksgiving holiday, or you're going to be there for Christmas, and this is something you want to get, because this is a good looking tiki mug, maybe check out Trader Sam's. But again, to Jay's point, this is something you're going to want to put your name in, like get up and go put your name on the list when they open, before they open. Otherwise, you'd be like, hey, yeah, it's 7:00. All right, cool. We're finally in.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and I'm wondering, you're right. It could either be that they've just increased the supply, or maybe for some reason this one just isn't as quite in demand as some of the others. Like, for example, it wasn't even like a month ago they released the Madame Leota mug, I think.
Oh, yeah, that thing was cool.
Yeah. So, and that one I think went a lot faster. But either way, yeah, check it out. It's worth checking out if you're into tiki mug collection and you're there for the holidays. It's worth seeing if they've got it on hand, because it is a really nice mug. And then you can be part of a very special club of tiki mug collectors.
And it's good to hear that the drink that it comes with is actually good, because I've been down there for Christmases in the past. I got a Santa tiki mug, or no, not a Santa, a Nutcracker tiki mug in the past, and the drink that it came with was god freaking awful. It was so bad. It's like, this is the worst thing I've ever tried.
Yeah, this is a good one. All right. Let's hop into the parks, and we finally have an update about what is going to be taking the place of the Frontierland Shooting Arcade. We knew it was going to be a DVC lounge, but we did get a look at some concept art this week. The new name of the location will be McKim's Mile House, and you take a look at it, and it looks very cozy. It looks like a log cabin sort of a setting, or just maybe what you might expect if you were in Frontierland, like wood floors, log walls. You've got some, it looks like a lot of leather chairs by a fireplace. It looks very comfy, cozy. And if you've never been into like one of the in-park DVC lounges, I mean, maybe right now, I guess the only one you could access would be the one in Epcot. But typically they offer things like free sodas. There's charging stations. There's a lot of like seating, air conditioning, Wi-Fi. Like it's a nice place to go and recharge and take a little break. Maybe you're waiting to be called for your Tiana's Bayou Adventure virtual queue or something, and you can go hang out here for a little while. But it looks cool. I mean, based on the picture, I was kind of surprised how much space it looks like they're going to have in there, because when I think of the Frontierland Shooting Arcade, it was kind of like a small little area. So maybe they're opening it up a little bit back there, but it looks nice. I look forward to not being able to go in there, because none of my DVC friends will ever take me anywhere.
Nor will we ever be DVC members, so there's that.
Well, you said your mom might, so I'm still holding on to that, hoping for the Lotus.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll see. Yeah. That would be really sweet. But I mean, yeah, to your point, when you think about its footprint in the Magic Kingdom, the shooting gallery doesn't really stand out, but this concept art looks like it has a lot of real estate. But again, as we've talked about in the last couple episodes, what they put on a storyboard or a piece of paper for concept art and what actually happens can sometimes be two vastly different things. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a similar situation. But just based on this concept art, I mean, like this is a spacious thing for the McKim's Mile House. And I mean, like, this would be a really nice spot to be able to catch your breath, recharge your phone, grab a drink, and just get some AC in the Magic Kingdom there in Frontierland, if you are a DVC member.
That's right. And that carries a heavy price tag, Because
boy does it.
Yeah.
Boy does it.
a lot of times to get access to those things, you can't just go buy like a small contract on the resale market, because you actually have to have like your DVC member card. The only way to get that is to buy like through DVC, and you have to buy over a certain point amount. So something to keep in mind. If like you're like, oh, maybe I'll buy in a DVC so I can hop into that lounge. Well, make sure you do it the right way.
Yep. Not so fast, my friend.
And then if you do that and you do actually get your card, think about old Justin Monorail and how he'd like to go visit some of these DVC lounges.
Old Justin Monorail. I love how you framed yourself like you're some old-timey prospect, which would be perfect for the McKim's Mile House.
That's right. I'll regrow my beard just to go back in there.
Yeah. Oh, Justin Monorail over here in the McKim's Mile House.
Well, all right. Let's move on to some news that actually affects people like us who can access the parks but not the DVC lounges. So this is something that we had previously talked about, because if you remember, over at Epcot, they had switched out the Soarin' video for a little while, where if you wanted to kind of go back in time and re-experience Soarin' over California, you could do that. So for a limited time, we were doing Soarin' over California here on the East Coast once again. Well, the surprise to all of us was that when the Soarin' Around the World video came back, there was no updated finale scene. So it was still old Epcot. You could see, the Fountain of Nations, and it wasn't the World Celebration Garden that we know today. Well, out of the blue, Soarin' has been updated. The finale scene got updated, and I will just say, it's still not necessarily the World Celebration Gardens we know today, because in the video, the ground lighting actually works. And that...
We knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Yep. Just a dagger in our side.
Oh, my goodness.
So, like, you get a nice view soaring over that beautiful World Celebration Garden, and you get that Epcot logo coming out of the ground, all lit up, doing its color-changing magic, and it's almost like a little stab right in the heart for those of us who got to see that in person, or even for those who didn't. And you're like, wow, that would have been nice to see in real life. But one thing I thought about is, I guess rides and attractions at Walt Disney World are supposed to sort of transport you to a world of fantasy. And in the world of fantasy, I guess the lights in the ground in Epcot can actually work.
Well, hear me out. So, remember, there was, okay, I'm actually upset about this still. But remember, like a long, long time ago, I can still remember, they were going to redo Spaceship Earth. They were going to close it down and whatever.
Yeah.
Hear me out.
The world caught on fire. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really still want them to do that. Maybe that's a hot take for those whatever. But I think that technology nowadays, like, I just think it lends itself to the updates. But you know how you do like the whole screen thing? That's a world of fantasy, but I also feel like that's the kind of thing that they'll like that's one of those things that breaks all the time.
Yeah.
But really, they just project it as something that works all the time, but it really doesn't. But it's fine. It's fine. We're not mad.
I'll put a positive spin on it. Maybe what this means, though, because, we were talking about this last week about the lights not working in World Celebration Garden, and we were kind of wondering, is Disney just going to, like, abandon this or just leave it broken for a while? I think the fact the video has working lights means to me that they intend to fix it. That's what I think.
That's a good point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So,
because I mean, if Disney was going to sweep this under the rug, they would not have literally put a light on that situation. Or maybe Disney, like this has been in the works for so long. Disney's like, whoops, damn it. We've been working on it, and when we started working on it, this was working.
Yeah.
So
they'll be like, maybe people won't notice.
Maybe they won't notice. It's fine. It's not like
they don't know us. Yeah, they don't know us. We pay attention to that stuff.
Yeah, one thing that people will notice, though, is that there was another change to the Soaring video.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. It no longer matters where you sit. If you're not a fan of a bendy world icon, I have some bad news for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting. So Disney, we sometimes talk about like Disney seems to sort of not really pay attention to some of the very specific guest feedback that they get about some of these things because they're just like, whatever, who cares? But for those of us who've ridden Soarin' over the years, one of our favorite things is to see the bendy Eiffel Tower as you fly over Paris. It's curved, not just slightly, but extremely if you're sitting way over on the sides, and it's hard to ignore. Well, Disney actually fixed that scene, so now it's a different shot. You don't actually get nearly as close to the Eiffel Tower as you used to, and now it looks a lot more natural and straight up and down. So that's nice.
I'm going back to Spaceship Earth really quick. What if they updated it, right? And it's like progression of Epcot. I know like it's not just Epcot, but like say like toward the end, it's like the progression of Epcot. So it has like a nod to Interventions and Mouse Gears and all that, right? And then it moves into World Celebration, whatever the heck this thing is called. And the lights work there too. That would just be the final stab to the heart if it's not fixed. I'm just saying there's a Yeti that hasn't been fixed. When are they fixing lights? I mean, I know that they're two different levels of difficulty, but anyway, period.
I feel like
they're Imagineers, not miracle workers. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I don't know much, but I would imagine that the expense to fix the lights in the ground is much smaller than trying to fix that Yeti, because as we've been told in the past, they're going to have to like cut a big hole in the mountain to try to fix that Yeti. And yeah, that sounds like that's not going to happen anytime soon. So
yeah, despite what Joe Rohde tells us. I love you, Joe Rohde. I don't mean to throw shade, but I mean, come on. Let's call a spade on this one. But it's like on the new Soarin' ending. I'm glad that they fixed the bendy Eiffel Tower. And who knew all you needed to do was not get all up in the Eiffel Tower's business to make it bend like that. But
yeah,
it kind of feels a little anticlimactic to be that far away from the Eiffel Tower, and then the light hits you, and then it transitions. Yeah. And maybe that's just because we knew how it was when we were literally flying through the Eiffel Tower,
right?
On old Soarin'. But I mean, like if this was the fix to get rid of the bendy Eiffel Tower, I guess this is okay.
It's okay.
Because it's like, depending on where you were seated on old Soarin', I mean, like, holy guacamole. Like that Eiffel Tower was horrible.
It was pretty bad. Yeah. It wasn't like just a little curved. It was like extreme.
No.
It was pretty extreme.
Yeah, the Eiffel Tower was almost like the arches in St. Louis. It was depending on where you were.
That's true. You're like, wait a minute. Thought I was in Paris, France. Hey, speaking of Paris, France, you can visit France because it is one of the countries in World Showcase if you're at Epcot. And there's a little attraction back in the France Pavilion called Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. This week, big news for those of us who sometimes go to the parks on our own. They actually opened up a single rider line for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. And this is nice because if you've ever ridden the Rat, then what you know is the seating is arranged such that there's 2 rows on each of the little cars that you sit in, and the rows can fit 3 people. So it's perfect since you have, like, usually you're going to have uneven number of groups. You have groups of 2, 4, in those cases they can add single riders to those cars, even if it's a group of 5. So I think this is really cool. I'm going to give it a try. I'd like to try it out and just see. I love to know, is it actually effective for this particular ride? But I would compare this to the Test Track single rider line, because on that attraction, similarly, you would end up getting put, the way that the seating was in those cars, you'd get put with like groups that had uneven numbers and things, and it worked out well. So I think that, and I'm not a person who would wait a real long time to ride Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. So if I could get on there, ride with some random people, and it's only like a 20-minute wait, sure, I'll do it. Sounds good to me. I don't know.
Yeah, most definitely. I really hope that this is something that Disney has going forward. I know I read some reports that this is something that Disney is just maybe trying for now, because we've seen here recently Disney introduced and then took away and then reintroduced single rider line over in Hollywood Studios for Rise of the Resistance. So I'm fingers crossed that this is something that Disney has for the foreseeable future for Remy's Ratatouille. Like I'm of the opinion most attractions should have a single rider aspect.
Retweet. Well, just because, like, even if you don't go by yourself, like, there are many times, like, even if I went with both of y'all, like, Men in Black at Universal, single rider line, I don't need to ride with you guys. It's just the experience. The Mummy, single rider line. Great experience. Like, if Disney did more of that, it would lend itself to, not single travelers, but people who do solo trips. Like, it would just make it easier for them to kind of get around. Then you could use your time. You could resort hop. Like, I don't know. Listen. I'm all for single. Spend money at a bar. Great. Exactly. Landon gets it.
Yeah.
And to your point, Stephers, as somebody who in the past has done several solo trips down to Disney, it's like, yes, it's like I would love to be like, okay, that to the left. Okay. Am I going to miss out on some of the queue? Probably. Am I okay with that? 1000%. But as I've said before on this podcast before, the most precious commodity you have in the park is your time. If I can save some time, okay. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to see Buzz talk to me in the Buzz Lightyear shooting gallery thing. but you know what I did get? 15 more minutes in the Magic Kingdom because I didn't stand in the standby queue. All right, cool. Hey, thank you. Please sign me up.
I love the Buzz Lightyear shooting gallery thing. Such a great attraction.
Shut up.
Rock and Roller Coaster has single rider, right?
Yeah.
It does.
Interesting. That's okay. Interesting. I hope they keep that. I'm assuming they're keeping that. Anyway, we haven't talked about that yet.
We're not there yet, Stephers. We're not there
I'm sorry. I just had that thought. I had the brain blast.
Blast.
Give me Neutron.
Moving right along.
I'm actually going to hop to the Lightning Lane Premier Pass article just because since we're talking about queues and wait times, why not get to that now? This was pretty big news this week. I had actually already created our notes page for today's show, and then there were like two giant headlines that came out that I had to add on. This was one of them. So, breaking Lightning Lane Premier Pass expansion. Guess what? When it launched, Lightning Lane Premier Pass was only available to those staying at deluxe resorts, and we talked at length about how these people that are staying at deluxe resorts, they're paying a very pretty penny to stay at the highest end resort at Disney, and maybe those people. And I'm not being pejorative here. I'm just saying maybe people who stay in deluxe resorts have a little extra cash, and they're the right audience to buy a Premier Pass. Well, now, as of when does this start? Did it already start? Friday. As of Friday.
November 22nd, yeah.
As of Friday, Disney World announced Lightning Lane Premier Pass now includes all Disney Resort hotels. Yes, value, moderate, deluxe villa, Disney Deluxe, other select hotels can now purchase the Lightning Lane Premier Pass for all the guests that are in their room up to 7 days before their stay. If you want to read more about this, we've got the articles on dismornings.com. Go check out our news, our blogs. You can see all this. But I just wanted to bring it up because I wanted to ask you guys, Stephers, what are your thoughts when you heard this news?
Well, so I think it's no surprise that everyone, y'all know my thoughts on the whole Express Pass, the whole booking all this stuff for me. I don't know, Lightning Lane, all this Genie Plus nonsense. I don't even know what to call it anymore. My question is I see that the high cost can climb as high as $450 per person. Are they scaling it? So if you're staying at All Stars, do you get a cheaper bundle for your party, or is it still going to be the setup? I know that maybe doesn't make sense to do, but if you're staying at a cheaper resort, you get a cheaper deal to help manage your budget. I'm assuming not. Right
now, no. Because I'll tell you why. And I don't think it'll change. Because if you offered value guests a lower price point to buy into the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, why would you ever book deluxe?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
So actually, in my opinion, if they ever did tier the Lightning Lane Premier Pass, it should be the reverse. If you're staying deluxe, you should get some sort of like a 20% discount on Lightning Lane Premier Pass.
That's fair.
Because if let's just say this, like couples without children or maybe single travelers, why would you ever, like if you wanted to buy Premier Pass, stay at the All-Star Sports.
Yeah.
And then you can get Premier Pass and you're set. Like,
interesting.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting too, because maybe that's part of Disney's strategy, that maybe they want groups that have, larger parties to stay deluxe. Although the strange thing about that is when you have like a family, the value resorts like Art of Animation has family suites for larger parties, and I think some of the deluxe resorts, unless you're staying in a DVC room, I don't know that you can accommodate more than 4 people in a room at most deluxe resorts. So
yeah, I think. Listen, it wouldn't surprise me if Disney ends up doing a tiered version of this anyway. That wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. I see the vision here. I don't think I would ever spend this much money for this situation. I think as someone who travels solo most of the time, or even with people who have been like on everything, like I'll utilize single rider. If I really want to ride something, I'll just do the Genie or the whatever the heck it's called now. I don't even know what it's called anymore.
It's now Lightning Lane.
Multipass.
The multi-pass
Lulu
thing.
multi-pass.
Thank you. I just listen. Fast Pass Plus. Like I miss those days already. I would just do that because like giving you like $20-$30 for something one time is like still for my value. Like I wouldn't utilize this. I think I'm interested to see how much you have to ride per se in comparison to what you would get on the multi-pass, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In order to make this worth it.
Right. Yeah.
Which is math that Stephers will not be participating in at this time.
Well, and two, I think as we talked about this before, I think it's a lot more about like convenience and flexibility, because if you get the Premier Pass, you can do what you want when you want without having to schedule anything, and you're gonna like that's the real big advantage there. So, but you're right. There's like a breaking point of value for sure. I mean, if you're a person who you are more budget conscious, then you're gonna go with the Lightning Lane Premier, or not Premier, but the Multi Pass. This is so confusing. The Lightning Lane Multi-Pass.
It's so confusing. Thanks, Disney.
LLMP, not LLPP. And then you'll just try to do your best, But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the take rate becomes for Lightning Lane Premier Pass, because I think we all saw Lightning Lane Premier Pass is sold out for the first time. It's on Thanksgiving Day, I believe. And so I don't know what the limit is. How many does that mean that they sold? Was it 1,000 of those, or like what was it? And then what are the Lightning Lane wait times going to be like that day? Is it going to be insane? Like you've got Lightning Lane, but now there's so many people using it. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know.
Good questions that we don't know the answer to.
That's what we're here to do. We're here to provoke,
see how that shakes
thought.
Yeah.
We're provoking thought and conversation. That's what we do here on the Monday Morning Monorail podcast.
And incite chaos.
Yeah. Well, also,
I was here to bring sex appeal. Damn it.
That's why you're here, Landon. Yeah.
Okay. All right. My bad. Yeah.
You understand the assignment.
Sweet. But it's like, yeah, this is, again, I made the offhanded comment. This has become a lot more complicated than it needs to be. This is a conversation I've had with several people off the microphone. Disney is making this way more complicated than it needs to be. I was actually surprised by this move that they're offering it to everybody staying on property. But now that it's actually happened, I guess I'm not surprised, because if there's a cent to be made, Disney is going to make said cent. And to Jay's point, I'm going to be very curious to see what the Lightning Lane wait times are going to be on sold out dates for the Lightning Lanes. How many of these things did they sell? How long are people who ponied up to $450 ahead? How long are they going to have to wait in line? That I'm very interested to see this week.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll find out. I'm sure that there will be lots of articles about it on all of the blogs talking about the Lightning Lane wait times.
Oh, yeah.
They love wait time articles
yeah.
on those blogs. So we'll hear about it.
They get them clicks, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of watch. And I'm sure this isn't the last evolution of Disney's Lightning Lane program. I don't think this is the end game. I don't know what the end game is, but I don't think we're there yet.
We can ask Taylor Swift.
There is no end game. There's no end game.
Probably
we'll
not.
Keep evolving.
There is no master plan. What are you talking about? Yeah.
They're making this stuff up as they go.
True.
Yeah, that's what we
Can't
do.
confirm.
So I can't blame them.
That is true. Yeah.
We don't make the amount of money that they do, though.
That's true.
So
Speak for yourself.
I'm sorry.
All right. Well, Lightning Lane Premier Pass open to everybody. I mean, if you can afford to do that, I think that's great. No judgment. Live your life and enjoy the flexibility.
Absolutely.
Of free time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I guess, more from our perspectives, like, oh, well, wouldn't that be nice to live that life?
Like I mentioned, your most valuable time in the park is your time, and if you can spend a little bit of extra money to save time, mazel tov, baby, go for it.
Do it. Bring us along with you. We'd love it.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. We are available to be bought and sponsored. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Some of us more affordable than others. Landon in particular. I'm surprisingly cheap.
He's a cheap date. Hey, so if you're cheap, you probably like free stuff, right, Landon? Is that true?
Free.
Boy,
free,
do
free,
I, man.
free.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I've got an exciting piece of news for you. If you head over to the Animal Kingdom between December 8th and December 18th, you can pick up a exclusive postcard that's being offered for annual pass holders only, and it's based on Disney's Mufasa, this next Lion King movie that's coming out. I thought this was kind of interesting. I don't remember them ever like having a annual pass holder postcard offer like this. It's usually magnets.
I mean, yeah, I don't remember them dropping postcards. To your point, I would prefer magnets myself because this is an audio format, so you can't see my fridge just off camera. But my fridge is adorned with Disney pass holder magnets. But said annual pass holder magnets can hold said annual pass holder postcard. I guess. But yeah, this is neat.
Yeah, and it's free. We love free.
Yeah. Well. I mean, your annual pass holder or your annual pass is not free, but it comes with said annual pass. So as an AP, you get all the perks you can along the way. And December 8th through the 18th, as a matter of fact, I'm going to be down in the park. So you boys going to be heading to Chester and Hester's Dino Treasure in Dinoland, USA, where I can get this postcard for Mufasa.
Yeah, and I'm sure this will work the way it does for annual pass holder magnets. You will typically have to produce your pass holder or your pass. They're going to scan it. You can use your Magic Band usually or your app. And then you have to show your photo ID, and then they give you a postcard. It's usually one per pass, I'm sure. So I'm certain, I'm sure that, it's one of those things that people are going to collect and put on their for refrigerators as well. And there's limited supply. So if you want one of these, head over to Animal Kingdom December 8th through the 18th. Like Landon said, go to Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures in Dinoland, USA. And then go visit Santa because he's over there as well. You might as well.
That's right. Yeah. They got the big guy over there in Dinoland, USA. That's exciting.
Very cool.
Christmas.
Bum.
Christmas. Sorry. I'm here just for the musical thing.
This is a cool addition. I love the fact that Disney is doing anything for annual pass holders because APs that is a pricey tag to hold, but I just really would have preferred, I don't know, maybe a Mufasa magnet because if you remember in the past they've done Christmas themed magnets. I mean, the Chip and Dale ones come to mind.
Yeah,
they were Christmas magnets.
They were like ornaments.
But we're getting a yes. They in fact were ornaments.
That was cool.
Yeah.
I have a question.
we're getting a postcard. Okay, all right.
Do pass holders get discounted tickets to the movies?
I don't.
Or at least if you go to like Disney Springs?
I don't know.
If you go through AMC, I think there are some deals you can do, or maybe that's through the Disney Visa card.
Interesting. I'm just saying. I'm a
Regal man myself, who has Regal Unlimited. So I don't know.
It's true. You're very regal.
I just want to say this, but I don't think it'll be a thing. I know Universal did this, I think once or maybe twice, but like provide like a voucher because Disney Springs has a movie theater, Universal has a movie theater. Like they had like limited vouchers, and it'll be like a redeem for one movie ticket for a showing. I think that they should do that. It would obviously be super limited. I know that it would be super exclusive, but like you're a pass holder, so I think that that's just a nice little tidbit.
Hear me out. Here's something they could think about doing. If you're an annual pass holder, what if they hosted like little special red carpet event viewings for premieres of some of their big Disney movies, where you have to be a pass holder to get access to it, and then you get to be part of like a special event at Disney Springs, and they do a whole like red carpet thing. There's photo ops, and then you get to premiere, like maybe you see a movie a day early, like Mufasa, which by the way would be probably good for that movie, because I personally don't think that people were asking for this. I don't know, but so drum up some excitement.
I don't think you're wrong. Yeah.
I don't know, just a thought, but that would be fun.
I like that suggestion. Yeah. Or in this instance, if you're an annual pass holder, you get to ride a lion. Huh?
Okay. That's liability. They don't have money.
Think about it.
I think you'd be taking your health in your own hands, and Disney would make you sign a waiver. But, you know, some people like to live dangerously.
But they could sell like T-shirts, like the lion riding experience, you know? No? Okay. All right. Never mind.
Well, if you're a person who likes to live dangerously, then maybe you find yourself in dangerous bars sometimes. Maybe when you visit other planets, you wander into cantinas and mix it up with aliens and stormtroopers, and you know
that was the segue.
And you find yourself in a
segue.
You find yourself surrounded by scum and villainy, and let me just tell you, that kind of adventure helps you work up a hunger. But the problem is, in the past, if you were, say, maybe in Oga's Cantina at Disney's Hollywood Studios, food options were pretty limited. And unless you wanted the Batu bites...
No, food options sucked.
Well, some people like Spam on their charcuterie board. I don't know. I like Spam. But if that wasn't for you, you may have been disappointed looking at the menu, because there just weren't a lot of food options in Oga's. That all changed this week. We have some very, very exciting news for explorers of all galaxies. If you find yourself on Batu and you end up in Oga's Cantina, there are 2 new food options on the menu, and they both look like pretty substantial. One is the Thruster Roasted Bantha Flatbread, $17. It's a non-flatbread topped with spicy chorizo beef, gooey 4-cheese blend, and a gooey 4-cheese blend, combining familiar flavors with a galactic twist. The spice from the chorizo complements the creamy cheese, making it an easy favorite for anyone craving a hearty snack. And then you can get the Umbaran cheese roll, $12. And this is a pretzel bun dusted with spices and stuffed with herbed cheese, served alongside a delectable dipping sauce. This savory treat is indulgent, satisfying, and completely unique to Oga's menu. And who doesn't love a cheesy pretzel roll? That sounds pretty good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Are either one of these things like doing anything for you, Landon? Are you excited to go try one of these?
2 out of 2. I will try both of these the next time I'm in Oga's. Well, assuming I go back to Oga's. But yes, I've said very loudly on previous episodes that I think the food offerings were terrible at Oga's. And these additions to the menu, a chorizo flatbread option, and particularly that pretzel bun cheese roll. Mm-hmm. Holy guacamole. That sounds great.
No, guacamole's extra.
I would love to try Oh, excuse me. Yeah, and they actually come by where you're standing and make it fresh. No, they actually don't do that. I would try both of these things. And honestly, for the Umbarian cheese roll, $12, that feels like a reasonable price point for what it looks like you get. I would try both of these things if I found myself in Oga's. They sound great, and I'm so glad that Oga's is paying attention to the fact that their food option is very, very lacking. Yeah. And they're changing that. Good job by you.
Also, it makes sense that both of these are sort of like shareable options because the way that the seating arrangement, lack of seating arrangement is in Oga's, you're typically, you may be at the bar and then you definitely have like a little small sliver of space in front of you, but if you're not at the bar, they stand you at one of those high top tables that I think are made for 6 people, and there's usually 8 or 10 standing around them. And there's just not a lot of real estate. Like sometimes I even find it that it's cramped just having everybody's drink on the table. So if you did order the Batu bits in the past, sometimes it was hard to find a place to put all that. So it makes sense that
that takes up the entire table.
Yeah. So it makes sense that they offer like shareable things here. I'm excited about it. I hope, again, this isn't the end game and maybe we continue to see some things and maybe the food options rotate. But I also like that these are unique items for Oga's. That's great. I would imagine, I'm trying to think about like where this food is coming from because I wonder if they have a kitchen in Oga's because it's not connected necessarily like physically to Docking Bay 7. So, or, Ronto Roasters, they must have a small kitchen back there, I guess. That
they have to,
not using at all until now. So.
Yeah, they finally decided to plug in the air fryer in the back.
Yeah. But no, I'm excited too. I really hope I get out there soon. I'd love to try both of these things. But that wasn't the end of the changes to the menu. We got to mention they actually did add a couple new drinks, and then they altered a drink they already had on the menu. So let's start with the new drinks first. It's a Nicillin and Bubbles with Brub Berry Essence, $18. This cocktail blends Empress 1908 Gin, Saint Germain Elderflower Liqueur, and a blueberry lime juice topped with tonic water and garnished with an edible hibiscus flower. And as you all know, if you follow me on any of the social medias, when I go out for drinks and get fancy cocktails, 10 out of 10 times I end up with a pink drink. Well, guess what? Oga's has got a pink drink on the menu. So guarantee I'll end up with that in my hands at some point. Hey, gin and Saint Germain sounds great to me. I don't care. I will drink a pink drink all day long. So I think I rock a pink drink, to be honest.
So head to Oga's and ask for the Justin Monorail.
Yeah. Just hook me up with the Justin Monorail pink drink special, and they'll know what you're talking about. Another new option is the Psylop.
It does sound good. It does sound good.
Sorry about that, Landon. I didn't mean to step on you. Then you could order the Psylop. This one's $18. It's got Del Magui Vida Mezcal. Mezcal. I've never said it that way before. Mezcal. Grapefruit juice, lime juice, agave, and jalapeno with a chili lime seasoned rim. This drink brings smoky, spicy, and citrusy experience to your taste buds. It sounds like, because the Jedi Mind Trick is kind of like a margarita, kind of a twist. This is very similar. It's just a mezcal base instead of tequila, but grapefruit juice, lime, agave, jalapeno. It's a spicy margarita kind of an option, I think. So that sounds pretty good.
Sounds like I'd try it. Yeah.
Yep. I would give that one a try. If you like the flavor of coffee, we've got a new cold brew option. Corellian Spike Cold Brew at $18. This one has Maker's Mark Bourbon, Joffrey's Coffee Cold Brew, vanilla, brown sugar syrup, and orange bitters, topped with a purple vanilla ube foam. How about that one? That was
sold.
For you?
Sold.
Stephers is sold.
I like ube, so here we are.
It's an interesting color combo because the drink is brown. And
it's ugly as it's ugly as all heck. But I will tell you, I love me some ube, so we're gonna just try it. We're gonna take one for the team. Period.
All right, and then finally, they did update the Bloody Rancor. They already had the Bloody Rancor on the menu, but this one just a little different. It still features Tito's handmade vodka. And this one's made with Ancho Reyes chili liqueur and a house-made Bloody Mary mix. And now, instead of giving you a Rancor bone, it was like this meringue, crunchy Rancor bone that I thought
I remember that. Someone got it.
I did, and I thought it was gross. I'm just not a big fan of the Rancor thing. But this one now comes with candied bacon. They just say candied meat, but it's candied bacon.
Candied meat? Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it looks good. I'd eat it. I don't know if I'd drink it, but I'd eat the bacon.
I love candied bacon, but I'm going to drink that drink. I'll get that Bloody Mary.
Most definitely. Yeah. Your boy over here loves a Bloody Mary.
Yep. And I thought
it comes with candied bacon. Hell yeah! I'll
say the previous version of the Bloody Rancor, it was fine. I mean, it's nice to have a Bloody Mary option in Oga's since it opens at like 10 in the morning. So, I mean, give me a brunch drink.
And you are on vacation in theory, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So I love having a brunch drink, but it wasn't the best Bloody Mary around, but it was okay. I'm hoping this one's better.
And it came with that like candied or
quote unquote
candied Rancor bone. Yeah, that was a choice which never really jived with me.
Yeah, I didn't love it either. I would get the Bloody Mary and try to get everybody to eat the bone, and nobody wanted it. So that tells you.
Can confirm. Absolutely nobody. I think I tried it though.
You did.
See, and I don't even remember, so it wasn't memorable. Yeah. Period.
So good riddance.
Definitely an upgrade with the candied meat, even though, as we all know, it's bacon.
But here are some things that they removed from the menu. A couple of these I'm a little bit sad about. So the Black Spire Brew is now replaced by the Carillion Spike Cold Brew, which is fine. It's probably a like for like. I think the Carillion Spike Cold Brew sounds a little more inventive, so great, good upgrade. But these two things are gone. The Dagobah Slug Slinger is off the menu, as well as the T16 Skyhopper. And I know the T16 Skyhopper was a little bit divisive because it was made with cream, and some people don't like, they're not going to have like a creamy cocktail. But I thought it was nice because a lot of these cocktails at Oga's are pre-batch, and you're just getting them like they're pouring them out of like a large carafe or something. The T16 Skyhopper, because it had cream in it, was actually mixed when you ordered it. So it was like a fresh drink, which was kind of nice.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah. So, but that could be why it's gone, because maybe all these other things are going to be pre-batch. That one took a little more manpower.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the Dagobah Slug Slinger. Maybe that one just wasn't. I think the name makes people not order it. It sounds gross. And so they got it off.
It kind of does. Yeah. Uh-huh.
But I don't know. It was one I had.
There's probably a reason they don't have a drink called the Carillion Crap Drinker.
Exactly. So. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nobody wants to drink slugs, but I thought it was good, and I mean, it's fine. I'm sure these other drinks are going to be great, so I'm not going to miss that one too much. But I will miss the Skyhopper. That was one of my favorites when I went into Oga's. So, oh well, got to find a new favorite.
Skyhopper was.
Yeah, like I said though, some people just
or just do the Landon challenge and try to drink one of everything.
You've got 45 minutes
before your 45 minutes is up. Yep,
and go. And also eat both of the new food options at the same time. You're going to need that to soak up the.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Eating the new food options is like a new game plus mode. So there you
go. All right, so we're going to stay in Hollywood Studios for this last article, and we couldn't wrap up today's episode without talking about this. The big news to come out of Walt Disney World, and we're all still trying to process our feelings about it, I think. But on Friday, Disney released this news so we could go into the weekend and have a couple days off to either deal with our feelings or mourn it or whatever. But it has been confirmed. We all knew that the Monsters, Inc. land was coming to Hollywood Studios. We knew one of the potential landing spots was Muppet's Courtyard. And now Disney has confirmed Muppet's Courtyard will be going away, and it's going to be replaced with Monsters, Inc. land. This will include a Monsters stage show that's going to take place, it says Muppet or Monsters show. I don't know if it'll be a stage show, but a Monsters show will replace Muppet Vision 3D in that building. They're going to build the door roller coaster in the back. It looks like that'll actually be an expanded part of the area. Pizza Rizzo, that building looks like it's going to, just based on the concept art, it looks like that's staying intact. but it'll definitely be a new food option. It's funny, if you look at the concept art, one of the things you can see is there's a Monsters, Inc. laugh floor sign that's kind of on the backside, so it makes me wonder, is that what the show is going to be in Muppet Vision that'll take the place? I don't know, but yeah. So that's the punch in the gut, right? Monsters taking the place of the Muppets. We're losing the Muppets Courtyard. We're going to lose the Piggy Fountain. The last project Jim Henson worked on before he passed away, Muppet Vision 3D. But here is the little spoonful of sugar to kind of help the medicine go down a little bit. And that is, apparently, the Jim Henson Company is working with Disney on creative ways to preserve the Muppet Vision film. I don't know what that means exactly. People have speculated maybe it'll get a new home in another theater, but we don't know that's for sure. And talking with Nate when we were all having our group therapy session about this news, Nate seemed to feel like there's a chance that the villain show that is going in beside Rock and Roller Coaster is going to be temporary. And then maybe once that's gone, kind of setting the stage for Villains Land at Magic Kingdom. Once they move that out, maybe Muppet Vision goes there. And we can talk about why that might make more sense in just a minute. But I guess I just want to ask the question, how are we dealing with the news that we know for sure now Muppet Vision, Muppet's Courtyard is going away and making way for Monsters, Inc. Land? Landon, I know... I feel like I haven't really heard your take on this yet, so I want to go to you first and see how you're feeling.
Mixed emotions. On the one hand, it's exciting that the Muppets are going to live on, taking over Rock and Roller Coaster. But on the other hand, losing Muppet Vision 3D, I think you nailed it. It's like a punch in the gut. And it's especially painful because, yes, the Muppets are still going to have a presence in the park. Yes, the Muppets are still going to be represented in an attraction, but this is an attraction where it's a roller coaster, and some people are averse to roller coasters, whether it be they just don't like that type of attraction, or some people can't physically ride those attractions. Muppet Vision 3D, there was no height restriction. There wasn't if you're pregnant, you can't ride this. If you have a heart condition, if you have a bad back, you can't. Muppet Vision, like the Muppets, was all inclusive. And I hate the fact that that is going away. Mm-hmm. And you mentioned that this was the last thing that Jim Henson worked on before he passed away. And yes, the Henson Company released a statement saying that they are working with Disney to find a way to preserve Muppet Vision 3D, or rather Muppet Vision, because we don't know what's going to happen and if it does find another home, if the 3D is still going to be implemented. And I'm more sad than I am happy.
Yeah.
I think I knew this was coming. And honestly, it's like I really don't look forward to Monsters, Inc. Land. I really don't, because I know what it took.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people feel that Muppet Vision 3D was a piece of a time that has since passed, but to me, it's like I love the Muppets, and I always will. And could they have done a whole lot more with the Muppets? Hell yes, they could have. Could they done a whole lot more with that area? Hell yeah, they could have. But I'm sad.
Yeah. And I think it's okay. That's fine.
I just,
yeah. I think here's the thing. So we know change is inevitable in the parks. We know nothing is permanent.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. Like, we're not going to go stage a protest. We're not going to chain ourselves to anything. You know, I don't support people doing that sort of thing, because at the end of the day, Disney is a company that's in the business of making money, making things that are current, updated, mass appeal, that sort of thing. So when things go away, it's fine to be sad about it. It's fine for us to have our feelings about it, and we do. But at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to move on. And it just, I think it's fine to sort of take some time with your feelings, and because I feel upset about this too. Like, I've got so many great memories in the Muppets Courtyard, and I love Muppet Vision 3D. I love the Muppets, and yes, like I think initially for me, and as you mentioned, Landon, we found out that something that we had actually talked about in the past, why don't the Muppets take over Rock and Roller Coaster? We've talked about that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
And now it's
yeah. We kind of called our shot on that one, didn't we, buddy?
Yeah. Well, now it's happening. I mean, almost exactly like we imagined. It seems like Dr. Teeth and the Electric Mayhem are going to be a big part of that, and that makes total sense. So that's really exciting. But, you know, and that helps a little bit. But as I started to hear a lot of other people talk about it, they brought up the things that you said. Well, it's great the Muppets are going to be there, but I don't ride roller coasters. So for me, this means I won't get an attraction with the Muppets that I can access anymore. You know, and whether that's by choice, by height, by physical, you know, ability, or whatever it may be, or just you don't like roller coasters, now all of a sudden the Muppets are, you don't have access to them because it's in a thrill ride. Which, you know, it's an interesting choice. And like I'm excited because I know I'll get to see it and I'll get to ride it and I'm going to love that. You know, it was time to make a change at Rock and Roller Coaster. It's time to bring Aerosmith out, phase them out. And this is a great option. As we've said, we threw it out a bunch of times. We thought that would be really cool, but I didn't know, know by asking that it was going to be at the expense of Muppet's Courtyard. So that's the part that's sort of hard to take.
Really kind of a monkey's paw wish type situation.
Exactly.
Right?
I saw people say monkey paw more times on Friday than I've seen in my whole life because of this, actually. But it's true. It really is true. Stephers, from a perspective of someone who is younger than both the Daws and I don't think you have quite the affection that we have for the Muppets, but like, how did you react to this news when you saw it? You're not going to hurt anybody's feelings.
I feel like I actually might. To be honest, I could care less if the Muppets are there or not, because it was something I didn't really interact with. I do know that so many people like it. I was thinking while Landon was talking, I was like, oh, because we did make the comment like, oh, what if they made like Hall of Presidents into like a Muppets thing so that you get back like a show attraction. I also, when you said something about the laugh floor, I was like, oh, well, what if they just swapped them? But then it's like Muppets and Tomorrowland don't really make sense to me. So I was like, oh, I guess I can't really do that. I was trying to think of like a way like because Muppet, this is why I'm confused by Disney. And I think, and I don't mean this in like a necessarily negative way, but they have been pushing Muppets so much, but I think I think they knew this was coming. So they essentially love bombed us with all the Muppet stuff that they were releasing to hopefully like tamper down the effect that this change has. I will say and I don't think it's my age. I just think it's like what I grew up with, because there are people that are my age that grew up with the Muppets and like they have a bond with them too. So I don't think it's fair for me to say it's based off my age, but I vibe more with monsters. And the concept of the whole Doors roller coaster, like that whole concept is something that as a kid, that just is what I meshed with more because of the whole, like, oh, that'd be so cool. Like you could, and I'm very much like ride the movies kind of girl. So like that to me, great. I will say, I mean, I don't know where else I would have put it. Like, I don't know what I would have sacrificed instead of the Muppets for this. I will say, like, you could say, oh, there are a bunch of like, Little Mermaid hasn't opened back up. You know what I mean? Like, what are they doing with that whole situation? I mean, I don't think that lends itself to this whole concept that they're doing. So, like, I see the vision. I will say I have been to Disneyland where they have a Monstropolis. Is that how you pronounce that?
I think so.
That sounded weird in my head. And I will say that it's a lot smaller than I thought, I think, in my opinion. Maybe that's a hot take. I don't really know. Monstropolis was kind of small, but I think to put a roller coaster, they need more space.
Yeah.
Unless this is my other hot take. If they make it the same length as Tron, I quit. It's not. I don't think you can put a coaster that is the length of Tron and get rid of Muppet's Courtyard. Like, I don't think that's a fair trade. I think that would be doing a disservice to the space, because Tron, great, smooth ride, whatever. It's 0.2 seconds and then you're done. Like, it's not. Big Thunder is longer, but you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not a huge Muppets person, but I don't know.
I do want to point out in our article over at dismornings.com, it does say that the show building is, quote, going to rival the size of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. Yeah. So I don't know if that speaks to the length of what the Doors coaster is going to be. Mm-hmm. But God, there you go.
So. I'm hoping this is my like ideal situation, that it has the story elements of like Hagrid's, but like, and also maybe, I know this is like universal to Disney terms, so like if you can follow me, but like even the length of, I guess, Big Thunder or Space Mountain or like something, you just need to be able to have a story. And if it's Tron length, it's not going to have a story. And I think that's not what we want, respectfully. But if it's Guardians length, cool, fantastic, go for it, do it. Say less.
Yeah, it's hard to say, like, even though it's going to have a big show building, what does that actually mean in terms of length of ride?
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's what's just air, what's, you know.
But it is exciting. I mean, I think that probably ultimately ended up being why they took over Muppet's Courtyard instead of Animation Courtyard, where the Little Mermaid show is returning. Because, you know, we had previously heard that the offices that are back behind Animation Courtyard, cast members who had office space back there were told that they were going to be moved. And so to us, that indicated, oh, this is good news. Why would they be moving them if they're not going to do anything with that space? And maybe that's where Monsters is going. But I think just based on the size of what they're doing, maybe they just physically couldn't do it there. But then
on the flip side, why don't they just blow out Star Wars Docking Bay?
Well, that's part of Animation Courtyard, right? So that would have been that whole area. And yes, just but I still wonder.
Blow that whole thing down.
Yeah. And maybe they will. But then what are they going to do with that space? That's a good question, too. Because obviously they're preparing for something there. Something we don't know
about. In theory. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, like you said, change is inevitable, and there's nothing we can do about it. So, you know,
so we can come here and be sad, but
they're gonna tear down
eat Arby's.
Animation Courtyard and put a Moana ride.
Probably.
There we go. Yep. We need more Moana in our parks. Which, by the way, happy Moana 2 week, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
To all who celebrate.
Well, okay, so kind of building on the conversation, though, about the Muppets taking over Rock and Roller Coaster, you know, as I said, as someone who rides Rock and Roller Coaster, I'm excited about that. Stephers, you mentioned earlier, Rock and Roller Coaster does have a single rider option. I'm sure that they'll maintain that. I'm interested to see what they'll do with it. I mean, you can still set it up. It's still going to be music-based. In fact, I guess there's going to be, instead of one band featured, it sounds like this is going to be sort of a medley of, like, pop stars, rock stars from like the history of music. It might be like a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame kind of thing, with the Muppets as our tour guides. But I'm excited to see what happens. And again, if they end up moving Muppet Vision 3D or Muppet Vision, as you said, Landon, although I think it has to be a 3D show. I don't know how you could do it 2D and do it justice. But maybe they do put it in the Lightning McQueen Racing Academy building eventually. And then that becomes the new Muppets Courtyard.
That would be great.
That would be great. And I kind of wish, you know, maybe they'd give us some hints to make us feel a little better about all this. But no, not while they're building anticipation for a villain show. They're not going to say anything about like what's next after that. So, but
yeah, they're definitely not going to cut the legs out from that villain show.
Yeah. So anyways, change is happening, and we will all get through this together. But I will say this right now, we don't know. Disney has said you still have time to experience Rock and Roller Coaster and the Muppet Vision show and Muppet's Courtyard before they're gone, but they didn't tell us how much time. We don't have a closing date. These are things that we need, and I think if Disney does this right, they will let us know the closing date, and there should be some like farewell merch. Let us like, be great. Yeah, let us like send this thing off on a high note. Yes, Disney, we're saying we'll give you more money, just make some merch.
Hey, they made a farewell tour merch for Bill and Ted when because that, I mean, I'm not apples to oranges, whatever, but that was a really big show that people really loved. I think that the least they can do is and then they can do a Muppets on Tour shirt for Rock and Roller Coaster Muppets Edition, whatever they're gonna call it.
Yeah, that'll be
whatever.
Cool.
I think that would be cool.
I'd like it.
Or, hear me out, in true Muppet style, we throw one big show and raise enough money to save Muppet Vision's 3D, guys.
We should do it.
Come on, let's do it.
There's still time.
Let's get the gang back together.
Yeah. WWKD, what would Kermit do? Yep, he would throw a benefit concert. Well,
I mean, they do have that whole merchandise shop that's been closed for what feels like forever, right there in Muppet Courtyard. So I mean, let's freaking do something with that. Come on, y'all.
Seriously. All right. Well, that was the news for the day. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If you're a member of the Monday Morning Monorail fam on Facebook, make sure you share how you're feeling about this news. We posted the articles linked to the Diz Mornings article, actually, in the Facebook group, so you can join in there, and keep the conversation going, but keep the memory of Muppets alive. Keep them in your hearts. They're still going to be around, and hopefully, if Disney was going the direction of just taking the Muppets out of the parks, they would never even they wouldn't have considered putting the Muppets at Rock and Roller Coaster. So it gives me hope that they still have a future, and we'll see what that'll be. Well, before we wrap up, I just wanted to share a couple of things here. So it is Thanksgiving week. If you happen to be listening to this show before Thursday, the week that we drop the show, then you might have an opportunity to take advantage of some of this, especially if you're traveling to Walt Disney World and you'll be here for Thanksgiving, or if you're local in the Orlando area. I was curious, if you were staying at Walt Disney World and you still wanted to have a Thanksgiving-style meal on Thursday, are there options? Where would you go? In the parks and the resort? Well, as it turns out, actually there's quite a few options out there. You just have to know where to look for it. We all know Magic Kingdom, Liberty Tree Tavern, actually has sort of a Thanksgiving style meal every day of the year. That's what they do. You get turkey, you get quote unquote stuffing, as they call it, mashed potatoes and more. And then that same menu, it used to be barbecue that they served at Diamond Horseshoe, but now they're serving that exact same menu from Liberty Tree in Diamond Horseshoe. So you got a couple options right there in the Magic Kingdom. In Epcot, if you want to be a little more creative, you can go over to Via Napoli, and they have a special pizza called the Autunno, topped with butternut squash, fresh ricotta, fried crispy prosciutto, and arugula. So it's a little bit of an autumn spin on their pizza. Hollywood Studios, Hollywood and Vine, that buffet, I guess, frequently includes herb roasted turkey breast, garlic red skin mashed potatoes, cornbread stuffing, green beans. You can kind of create a Thanksgiving meal at Hollywood and Vine. And then within the parks, and you can go to Animal Kingdom still, and even though restaurant Rainforest Cafe is sort of in and out of the park, but they offer a special Thanksgiving menu over at Rainforest Cafe. So there's options in the parks, in each one of the parks, if you want to find some traditional turkey and dressing kind of a meal for Thursday. It's not really something I'd ever really thought about, other than I knew, what the offering at Liberty Tree was, but it hadn't really crossed my mind, if any of these restaurants would do special offerings on Thanksgiving Day. It turns out some of them do. I also read that if you're staying on property, the Disney resorts, they don't really post this ahead of time, but there will be special menus at the resorts, at some of the restaurants at the resorts, that offer a Thanksgiving meal that day as well. So if you don't want to leave your resort, or you just wanted to go back for lunch, or whatever it may be, there's options there. Finally, Disney Springs. Turns out there's actually a lot of options for Thanksgiving meals over at Disney Springs. I want to start with one of my favorite places. Wine Bar George is going to have two special holiday entrees. They've got a roasted turkey breast served with mashed potatoes, stuffing, maple honey, carrot, and cranberry sauce, and grilled ribeye with Yukon potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and creamy mushroom sauce. Ooh, both of those sound amazing.
Ooh.
Yeah. Really, really big fan of Wine Bar George, so that's something. I don't know. I might be free on Thanksgiving. I wonder if I can get a reservation. I should check that out.
Yeah, you should definitely check that one out. Do it for the content, buddy.
Yeah. Newly opened this year, this will be their first Thanksgiving. Summer House on the Lake is offering a Thanksgiving Day prefix meal. 3-course menu includes your choice of harvest salad or roasted honey nut squash soup, a roasted turkey dinner or maple glazed Faro Island salmon, and pumpkin chiffon pie or chocolate cake for dessert. Don't know the price point, but I'm going to say $65. Does that sound fair? I don't know. That's just my guess. Stephers, you look incredulous.
That feels right.
But I don't know. A few other places, like you could hop over to the Odyssey, the Edison. They have a Thanksgiving turkey dinner, which will have roasted heritage turkey, herb stuffed, dreamy mash, house gravy, and cream bean casserole. They also have a pumpkin cheesecake. What's up?
Sorry, I made that face because I was like, ain't no way that's a Disney price. I will say it's $69.95 per person plus tax. And then children are $14.95 plus tax. So Justin was not completely off. So
come on. I pretty much nailed it. I couldn't have been.
Good job by you. Good job by you, buddy.
I'm proud of you.
Thanks.
That was for Summer House on the Lake.
Yeah, the prefix. Thank you. Appreciate that, Stephers. If you're looking for a place where you could actually...
That Edison menu sounds good.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Yeah, that sounds... And that's a $39 price point. So.
And then they got a whole bunch of... Right? Yeah, much more affordable. And then they got a whole bunch of great drink options as well.
It's true. All right. And lastly, if you're looking for a place that maybe you want to watch some football on Thanksgiving, that's something people like to do. You do have an option. You can go to CityWorks Eatery and Poorhouse, and they will have a special menu for Thanksgiving that includes herb roasted turkey. You can get a slow roasted prime rib. There's a kids turkey option, special sides like corn casserole, roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon, traditional stuffing. Why is everybody calling it stuffing? What is this? What world are we living in? It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine.
It's not fine. It's really grinding his gears.
I'm getting over it as we speak.
I believe on you,
It
or
really
believe in you. I believe on you. I believe in you. I just believe you.
Thank you. I appreciate that support.
Believe of you. Yeah.
Of you. Thank you.
Last couple places, Paddlefish and also Terralina Crafted Italian offer Thanksgiving options as well, with turkey, all the fixins, everything you could imagine. So, end of the day, lots of options. If you're somebody staying on resort looking for that special Thanksgiving meal, there are places to go, and it sounds pretty delicious. I'd sign up for most of these, honestly. All right.
Honestly, if I had to choose one, I'm heading to CityWorks.
Yeah. I mean,
that menu looks great, and you get to watch football.
Yeah, exactly. Throw in the football option, you're in great shape. And the herb roasted turkey is $35, and you get the sides and stuff. That's from what we mentioned, that's pretty much the lowest price point, more than likely. Actually, no paddlefish. Paddlefish is a little bit lower.
And if you want to get a little bit fancy, prime rib.
Prime rib. Oh, who doesn't love a prime rib? Well, that's going to do it for this week. Thanksgiving news. We're all thankful for all of the Walt Disney World news. Maybe not all of it, but we're thankful for most of the Walt Disney World news. And it's good that this is a week where we're getting together with friends and family so we can console each other about Muppet's Courtyard, have some group therapy, as I mentioned. I think it's important. But, in the meantime, I hope you all are enjoying a really nice break and getting to spend time with your family. And we're glad you chose to spend some of that time with us this week. Before we wrap up, it's time to do some plugs. Stephers, what's going on with Sippin' and Bitchin'? Did you have a special Thanksgiving book that you read?
No, sir. We are taking a break for the holidays because we are not... I don't even know what I was going to say there, but we're just taking a break for the holidays so that we can focus on life. And Sam's doing some stuff, so we are farmers, but you can catch up on all those episodes and then hit us up, do all the things. Adventures with Stephers, though, I'm doing a lot. I'm getting out more and I'm hanging out with friends, and you can follow my adventures with Stephers. And Blue Sky. I'm on Blue Sky. It's Stephers. Woo!
It's
I post
Stephers.
nonsense, but here we are. What is social media if not a place to put your nonsense?
That's exactly where you're supposed to do it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Stephers.
Period.
Stephers joining Blue Sky made it a legitimate social media option now. So go join Blue Sky, be like Stephers, and you can follow all of us over there. In fact, Landon has a Blue Sky, and he's going to tell us all about it right now. Hit it.
Oh, Thedoz, Landon on blue ski, Landon Doane. I'm the best, Landon Doane, not the rest. That's where you can follow me 300 characters at a time. I noticed last week I said 380 characters at a time. That's not the character limit, you silly goose. I also appear on the Phil Show, News Talk 98.7 WOKI radio station locally here in Knoxville, Tennessee, streaming 6 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time at newstalk987.com. Also available on the iHeartRadio app and the News Talk 987 app as well. Stephers may be taking a break from the book reading podcast thingamajig, but Landon Doane, I'm looking forward to reading a book this week. Yes, I do read. Try not to faint. It's Welcome to Pawnee, Stories of Friendship, Waffles, and Parks and Recreations by Jim O'Hare. You might know him as Jerry from Parks and Rec. Looking forward to reading that. I got a signed first edition, a little bit of a Christmas gift to myself. So looking forward to diving into that, man.
That's awesome. I'm excited for you.
Right? Yeah. Right, yeah. I can read, y'all. It's neat.
I was going to say,
up and down.
I was going to say, I'm excited to know that Landon can read.
Yeah, so like Stephers has read every book in the world. The Smoking Hut Girlfriend has read like 50-ish books this year, and Landon will have read one book this year.
It is a beautiful book, though, that is signed. So, like, honestly, if you're going to do it, you're doing it big.
Yeah.
So
thanks, Stephers.
You're doing
heck
it right.
yeah. Let's do it.
Yay.
I'm proud of all readers.
And breathe, have a little bit of fun. If you could do both of those things, that would mean the world to me. Happy Thanksgiving. Got Living with the Landon coming up April 1st, 2025. I'm turning 40, raising money for Second Harvest Food Bank of East Tennessee by marathon riding, Living with the Land, heading down there. I'm asking you, the lovely listener, to donate money for every lap I go on Living with the Land. I want you to put my money, or put your money rather, where my mouth is, saying that you are the best listeners in the podcasting game, and help feed some kids, because every dollar we raise is earmarked for the Feed the Kids program. Holidays are right around the corner, and what better stocking stuffer and or gift would be than some official Living with the Landon merchandise? Head over to bonfire.com, search Living with the Landon, or better yet, dismornings.com, and head over and get your official Living with the Landon mug, t-shirt, hoodie, all that good stuff. Put it right under the tree from Santa Claus, baby.
It looks beautiful
Happy
under the tree.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving. Join us in this fundraiser. It's going to be a blast. At some point on Diz Mornings, we'll hopefully very soon, we're going to have a link where you can go to a donation page. And that way you can decide how much you're willing to contribute to sponsor Landon per lap for his rides of Living with the Land. Just to give you an idea, I'm thinking more than likely Landon's going to be able to pull off like 20, maybe 25 rides on Living with the Landon. Yeah. So if that gives you an idea.
Oh, no.
I think you can do it. So we're going to give that
Go out there and raise expectations, baby. I love it.
I mean, I think it's possible. Anything's possible when you put your mind to it. And we'll be riding with him, and we'll be there. It'll be a fun day at Epcot. But really, at the end of the day, it's for a good cause, raising some money for Second Harvest Food.
I'm hoping that this is the hope and the dream, is that we just get a sanctioned Living with the Landon boat, right? And we don't even have to move. They'll be like, y'all are just doing this, and they just send us, you know, like we're just permanent VIPs for the day, period.
I'm going to have to take a bathroom bucket if we're doing it.
No. We can obviously rotate and go to the bathroom, but at least one of us makes it on the ride each time. Listen, it'll work. It'll work.
That'd be great.
I'm actually in talk with some businesses in Knoxville to sponsor me on Living with the Landon. So yeah. Yeah. First of all, y'all have stepped up huge. We have raised almost $400 for Second Harvest Food Bank, and we are not even to December. So thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. We're heading into the week of Thanksgiving. I am thankful for y'all. Y'all have stepped up huge, and we're not even heading to the home stretch. We are raising money, and we are going to feed some freaking kids, y'all.
Yeah.
Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, we're just ramping up here, so that's very exciting. We got some good momentum. So,
hell yeah, we do. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
So be part of that fundraiser. It's a great cause. Sponsor us for Living with Landon. It'll be good for everybody. It's going to be a good time, and we're going to raise some money for kids. Thank you all so much for doing that, but also thank you for being here listening to the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. We love each and every one of you. You're all members of the Monorail family if you've made it this far in the episode, even if it's your first. Welcome to the family. You might as well join us on Facebook. We have a Monday Morning Monorail fam group. Hop in there. We post articles. We chat all week long about Disney news. We have a Discord. If you want to be part of that, we've got a static link to it on the Facebook page. You could join the Discord and chat with us there. Stephers really improved. She revamped the Discord, and now it's like, I mean, this thing is super professional and cool, and we're very happy about it. And we're on Blue Sky. Morning Monorail is on Blue Sky, so we're one of the cool kids too. Follow Morning Monorail. Follow Justin Monorail on Blue Sky as well. And I think if you look for Morning Monorail on like anything, we'll probably be there. We're not on Mastodon, so don't look for us on Mastodon, but we're pretty much everywhere else.
What's a Mastodon?
That was another one of those alternate options to the Bird app. Yeah.
No, thank you. Good.
They're also a really good metal band too.
Nice. So check out Mastodon. Download their album.
Yeah.
All right. We love you all so much. Happy Thanksgiving. We're going to be here next week with M34D. Until then, thank a team member. Thank a cast member. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.